Hello everyone, hope you're doing great. In the last audiobook, we understood and learned the citizenship and the laws pertaining to citizenship in India. Now let us understand chapter 7 of Lakshmikant, that is related to fundamental rights. This is also a very important chapter if you are studying and preparing for UPSC Civil Services examination. So all the best everyone, and let's start reading. The fundamental rights are enshrined in Part 3 of the Constitution from Article 12 to 35. In this regard, the framers of the Constitution derived inspiration from the Constitution of USA, that is the Bill of Rights. Part 3 of the Constitution, rightly described as the Magna Carta of India, it contains a very long and comprehensive list of justiciable fundamental rights. In fact, the fundamental rights in our Constitution are more elaborate than those found in the Constitution of any other country in the world, including the USA. The fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution to all persons without any discrimination. They uphold the equality for all individuals, the dignity of the individual, and the larger public interest and the unity of the nation. The fundamental rights are meant for promoting the ideal of political democracy. They prevent the establishment of an authoritarian and despotic rule in the country and protect the liberties and freedom of the people against the invasion by the state. They operate as limitations on the tyranny of the executive and the arbitrary laws of the legislature. In short, they aim at establishing a government of laws and not of men. The fundamental rights are named so because they are guaranteed and protected by the Constitution, which is the fundamental law of the land. They are fundamental also in the sense that they are most essential for all round development, that is material, intellectual, moral, and spiritual, of the individuals. Originally, the Constitution provided for 7 fundamental rights, that is, right to equality, Article 14 to 18, right to freedom, Article 19 to 22, right against exploitation, Article 23 to 24, right to freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28, cultural and educational rights, Article 29 to 30, right to property, Article number 31, and right to constitutional remedies, that is Article 32. However, the right to property was deleted from the list of fundamental rights by the 44th Amendment Act of 1978. It is made legal right under Article 300 Part A in Part 12 of the Constitution. So at present there are only 6 fundamental rights. Features of fundamental rights. The fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution are characterized by the following. Some of them are available only to the citizens, while others are available to all persons, whether citizens, foreigners, or legal persons like corporations or companies. They are not absolute but qualified. The state can impose reasonable restrictions on them. However, whether such restrictions are reasonable or not has to be decided by the courts. Thus, they strike a balance between the rights of the individual and those of the society as a whole, between individual liberty and social control. Most of them are available against the arbitrary action of the state, with a few exceptions like those against the state's action and against the action of private individuals. When the rights are available against the state's action, they are violated by private individuals and are no constitutional remedies but only ordinary legal remedies. Some of them are negative in character, that is, place limitations on the authority of the state, while others are positive in nature, conferring certain privileges on the persons. They are justiciable, allowing persons to move to courts for their enforcement if and when they are violated. They are defended and guaranteed by the Supreme Court. Hence, the aggravated persons can directly go to the Supreme Court, not necessarily by the way of appeal against the judgment of the High Courts. They are not sacrosanct or permanent. The Parliament can curtail or repeal them, but only by a Constitutional Amendment Act and not by an ordinary act. Moreover, this can be done without affecting the basic structure of the Constitution. The amendability of fundamental rights is explained in detail in chapter number 11. They can be suspended during the operation of national emergency, except the rights guaranteed by Articles 20 and 21. Further, the 6 rights guaranteed by Article 19 can be suspended only when emergency is declared on the grounds of war or external aggression, that is external emergency, and not on the ground of an armed rebellion, that is internal emergency. The suspension of fundamental rights during national emergency is explained in detail in chapter number 16. Their scope of operation is limited by Article 31A, saving of laws providing for acquisition of estates. Article 31B, validation of certain acts and regulations included in 9th schedule. And Article 31C, saving of laws given effect to certain directive principles. Their application to the members of armed forces, paramilitary forces, police forces, intelligence agencies, and analogous services can be restricted and abrogated by the Parliament. Article 33. Their application can be restricted while a martial law is in force in any area. Martial law means military rule imposed under abnormal circumstances to restore order. Article 34. It is different from imposition of national emergency. Most of them are directly enforceable, self-executory, while a few of them can be enforced on the basis of law made for giving effect to them. Such a law can be made only by Parliament and not by state legislatures, so the uniformity throughout the country is maintained. Article 35. Thank you everyone. Now in the next video we will look at the fundamental rights from article number 12 in detail. Thank you everyone for listening and stay tuned for more videos like this. Do subscribe and share to the channel, and all the best for exams. Thank you.